March 1922. Deep within the isolated, frost-bitten heart of Bavaria, Germany, lies a forgotten farmhouse known as Hinterkaifeck, a place that would soon become synonymous with a crime so chilling, so utterly perplexing, that it continues to defy explanation a century later. 6 lives brutally extinguished in a single night. But the true horror of Hinterkaifeck isn't just the sheer savagery of the murders. It's the horrifying realization that the killer, or killers, did not flee into the night. They stayed. For 4 agonizing days, they walked among the dead, tended to the livestock, ate meals, and perhaps even slept under the same roof as their victims. From the dusty shelves of the archives of blood, we unearth today one of history's most gruesome and enduring cold cases. Brace yourselves, for the truth, if it ever surfaces, is far more terrifying than fiction. The tragedy of Hinterkaifeck isn't just about a single night of terror. It's about a slow-burning fuse of unsettling events that led up to it. Days before the massacre, Andreas Gruber, the patriarch of the isolated farm, began confiding in his neighbors about strange occurrences, footprints unmistakable in the fresh snow, leading directly to his farmhouse. Yet, bafflingly, none leading away, as if someone had simply materialized out of thin air. Then came the chilling discovery of a set of house keys mysteriously vanished, only to reappear weeks later, seemingly from nowhere. And perhaps most unnerving of all, peculiar scraping sounds from the attic, as if someone was moving silently above them. A persistent, unseen presence. Andreas dismissed these as a harmless prank, or perhaps even a delusion. He chose not to involve the police, believing it was merely a thief. A fatal miscalculation that would cost him and his entire family everything. Can you imagine the creeping dread, the slowly escalating fear in those final days? A predator silently stalking its prey, already inside the fortress. The exact sequence of events on the night of March 31st remains shrouded in mystery, but forensic reconstruction paints a grim picture. One by one, the family members were lured or forced into the barn. First, Andreas and his wife Cecilia, then their widowed daughter Victoria Gabriel and her children, 7-year-old Cecilia and 2-year-old Joseph. Finally, the newly arrived maid, Maria Baumgartner. Each victim met their end with brutal efficiency, struck down by a Reutauer, a specialized farming pickaxe, an instrument of labor tragically turned into an instrument of death. But here's where the story takes its darkest turn. For 4 agonizing days, the bodies lay undiscovered. Meanwhile, the chimney of Hinterkaifeck continued to smoke. The livestock was fed, food was cooked and eaten in the kitchen. Neighbors reported seeing smoke, hearing sounds, and even noticing the family dog tied up outside. The killer wasn't a hit-and-run assailant. This was an occupant, a chilling, silent guardian of death, living amongst his victims, maintaining a macabre illusion of normalcy. What kind of mind could endure such an act? What motive could compel such a prolonged desecration? When the bodies were finally discovered on April 4th, the sheer scale of the horror stunned the local police. Over 100 suspects were interrogated in the years that followed, yet no definitive answers emerged. The initial investigation was plagued by shortcomings typical of the era: insufficient forensic techniques, a lack of strict crime scene preservation, and an absence of DNA analysis. Among the primary suspects was Carl Gabriel, Victoria's husband, believed to have died in World War I, but whose body was never definitively identified. Could he have returned? Another prominent theory centered on Lorenz Schlittenbauer, a neighbor with whom Viktoria allegedly had a secret affair. Yet no concrete evidence ever linked him to the crime. Other theories ranged from a desperate robber, a wandering tramp, to even the more outlandish, a vengeful spirit, or an act of profound hidden family discord. Was it a lone wolf or a conspiracy? The small community of Hinterkaifeck, already isolated, became a crucible of fear and suspicion, tearing itself apart with accusations and dark whispers. Today, the Hinterkaifeck farmhouse has been razed to the ground, its dark foundations erased from the Bavarian landscape. Yet the specter of its unsolved murders continues to haunt the annals of true crime. It stands as a stark reminder of humanity's capacity for unimaginable cruelty and the chilling reality that sometimes justice remains forever elusive. The archives of blood has once again delved into the deepest shadows of history. The question remains, who was the spectral figure moving in the attic? Who wielded the axe? And what dark secret lies buried beneath the silence of Hinterkaifeck? We want to hear your theories. Who do you believe committed these heinous acts? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and join us next time as we unlock another terrifying file from the archives of blood.